Hey everybody, with just over 2 weeks to go, it's time to do another weekly polling recap. And as expected, we're getting a flood of new polls pretty much every day. Some of them might be better or worse, some of them are going to be more partisan. They could all be right, they could all be wrong in either direction. But let's see what we're looking at here in the battleground states. Let's start on Real Clear Politics. And right now, across all 7, Trump leads by 1 point exactly. It is a little bit higher than it was in the previous week. He is leading across all 7. However, the lead is under 2 points, so it's a pure toss-up. His biggest lead in these is going to be in Georgia at 1.8. The tightest is going to be Wisconsin at 0.2. If we go down here and take a look at the timeline, over the past week or so, Trump has ticked up maybe a half a point across these states. In a close race, that's probably not insignificant, but as always, there could be a late surge in the final week. And maybe these polls are underestimating Trump yet again. Maybe this time they're going to underestimate Harris, and she's actually ahead in most of these states. Let's look at the national polling. In just the head-to-head matchup, Harris leads by 1.2. The expectation seems to be that she needs to be ahead by at least 3 points nationally. So these polls have moved toward Trump over the past couple of weeks. And almost all of these pollsters are using likely voters at this point. The smallest sample size is going to be 769 from Reuters Ipsos, and the biggest is going to be from Morning Consult with 8647. That margin of error is actually only 1% in that poll, and that's the second best one for Harris, where she's up by 4. So a little bit of a disparity here between Atlas Intel having Trump up 3 and Marist having Harris up 5. That's a huge spread. Each side is hoping one of those is right and one of them is wrong. If we go down here and look at this timeline, Harris has held a lead ever since early August, but over the past few weeks, she's pretty much held steady while Trump's support has come up just a little bit. So a lot of these polls might be reflecting the mood in the country over the past 5 to 7 days. The best stuff in theory should be what we're going to see coming up in the next week or two. Now, if we add in third parties, then it's almost the same. Harris is up by 1.3, so not a lot of movement there. And the amount of candidates in these polls does vary. Some of them have Kennedy, some of them don't, some of them have Oliver, some of them don't. But you can see at the top here, 4 years ago in this same aggregate, Biden was ahead by 8.6, and back in 16, Hillary was up by 6.4. Both those years did underestimate Trump fairly significantly. If you're going by that, then Trump is by far in the best position he's been in. Now let's look at some of these state polls. So Atlas Intel polled the 7 swing states, and they do tout how they were highly accurate in 16 and 20, so they do have somewhat of a track record. But in Pennsylvania and Michigan, they've got Trump up 3. But the other Rust Belt state, in Wisconsin, they've got Harris up 1. In Georgia, Trump is up 2. North Carolina, it's back to Harris. She's up 2 points. Then in the Southwest, in Arizona and Nevada, it's tied. So that is a little bit more of a mixed bag. Back on Friday, I'm not going to name every pollster. We've got 2 from Georgia here. One of them, Trump is up 3. The other, Trump is up 1. In Nevada, from Rasmussen, Trump is up 2 points, 49 to 47. Rasmussen is usually regarded as having a right-leaning bias. But as with any pollster, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen this time. We've got a Texas poll from UT. Trump is up 5, 51 to 46. Ohio, Rasmussen again. Trump is up 7, 51 to 44. Back on Thursday, in Arizona, CBS has Trump up 3, 51 to 48. In Wisconsin, Rasmussen has Trump up 2, 49 to 47. In Pennsylvania, UMass Lowell took a look at that race. They've got Harris up 1, 46 to 45. In Michigan, from Mitchell Research, Trump is up 1, 48 to 47. Rasmussen also took a look at that state, and it's tied at 48. An update from New Hampshire, in the second-tier battleground state, Harris is up 9, 50 to 41. In North Carolina, from Signal, it's tied at 47. Wednesday in Georgia, Quinnipiac has Trump up a massive 6, 52 to 46. But at the same time, they have Harris up 3 in North Carolina, 50 to 47. That huge of a gap between those two states does seem hard to understand, but you never know, maybe it's going to happen. An update in Washington from Survey USA, Harris up a massive 22 points, 57 to 35. In Utah, we've got Trump up 16, 54 to 38. California, Emerson has Harris up 24, 59 to 35. In Massachusetts, Harris is up a healthy 26, 56 to 30. Back on Tuesday in Nevada, Trafalgar has Harris up 1, 46 to 45. Another Michigan poll from Fabrizio, Trump is up 1, 49 to 48. But with third parties from MRG, we've got Harris up 1 point, 45 to 44. In North Carolina, Trafalgar has Trump up 2, 47 to 45. Rasmussen has him up even more, 5 points, 51 to 46. Another Texas poll, Trump is up the same margin, 5 points, 51 to 46. Insider Advantage in Georgia has Trump up 2, 49 to 47. So that goes back through Tuesday. Most of those do seem to favor Trump a little bit more than Harris, but almost everything is still within the margin of error. Now let's get on 538 and look at some U.S. Senate races. In California, Adam Schiff is up 27 points over Steve Garvey, 63-37. In Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn is up a big 23 over Gloria Johnson, 61-39. Those last two polls did only use 400 likely voters, and in the Tennessee one, the sampling dates go all the way back to mid-September. Given we're so close to the election, I think that goes back way too far. Next in Wisconsin, from the Bullfinch Group with 600 likely voters, we've got Tammy Baldwin up 4 points over Eric Hufty, 49-45. In Florida, from RMG Research, Rick Scott is up 8 points over Debbie McCarcel-Powell, 52-44. In Pennsylvania, again from Bullfinch, we've got Bob Casey up 7, 50-43. Then for whatever reason, they just added this one from Expedition Strategies, sponsored by the Progressive Policy Institute. It says the sampling dates are June 24th through July 8th. So I think that is a totally useless poll at this point, especially considering they only have 284 likely voters. But they do have Bob Casey up 3. In Michigan, these same two pollsters have Alyssa Slotkin up 9 points. And again from Expedition, they have her up 6 points. We finally got a Washington Senate poll, and we've got Maria Cantwell up 23 points over Raul Garcia, 55-32. In Texas, from YouGov, Ted Cruz is up 7, 51-44. And we also finally got something out of New Jersey, but unfortunately, it's also from Expedition Strategies. And this poll is just way too outdated, and the sample size is just way too low to take seriously. So I'm going to skip over these next 3 polls. In Arizona, we've got 2 here, and Ruben Gallego is up big at 9 and 12 points over Carrie Lake. Back to Michigan with 3 different pollsters. Alyssa Slotkin is up anywhere from 4 to 7 points. In Wisconsin, we've got Tammy Baldwin up 3, and we've got her up 5 points. In Texas, Ted Cruz is up 6, and in this other poll from Morning Consult, he's up only 1 point. In Nebraska, sponsored by the Deb Fisher campaign, she's up 7 points over Dan Osborne, 51-44. Pennsylvania has David McCormick up 8 and 9 points. In Ohio, for Morning Consult, they're showing Bernie Marino up 1 point over Sherrod Brown, 47-46. I've heard complaints that Morning Consult is too biased in favor of the Dems. In this poll, though, they're actually showing Marino up 1. It's not something we're seeing from very many pollsters. But they also did Nevada, and they had Jackie Rosen up a gigantic 15 points over Sam Brown, 52-37. And they also took a look at Maryland, and they've got Angela Alsobrooks up 13 over Larry Hogan, 51-38. In Utah, from Noble Predictive Insights, again, not huge sample sizes here. It's still under 600 likely voters, but John Curtis is up around 30 points. So that race not competitive whatsoever. But then on the 16th, from Redfield and Wilton Strategies, in Nevada, they've got Rosen up 5. Then there's an update in Minnesota. Klobuchar only up 7 points over Royce White. In Michigan, Slotkin up 4. In Florida, Scott is up 3. Arizona, Gallego is up 5. Then in California, from Emerson, Adam Schiff up 24. That takes us back to the 15th. You can take a look at some of these if you'd like. The only one worth mentioning might be in Virginia. Tim Kaine is up 12 points. But again, not a huge sample size and not extremely recent polling there from ActiVote. Now let's move on to governor. So we've got a new one here for Washington, and this does have a Democratic sponsor. But Bob Ferguson is up single digits, 7 points over Dave Reichert, 48-41. I just did a deep dive into that race the other day, and this is the best of the recent polls we've seen for Reichert. How about North Carolina? Morning Consult has Josh Stein into the 20s now. He's up 22 over Mark Robinson, 54-32. But we've got other North Carolina polls, and Josh Stein is up anywhere from 7 to 14. And then there's another Washington poll from Survey USA. This has Bob Ferguson up more than twice the amount of the other poll. It's 16 points, 50-34. And finally, that takes us into the U.S. House. And remember, a lot of these polls are going to be hit or miss and have much more partisan sponsors. In Montana's first, with a Republican sponsor, Ryan Zinke is up 8 points over Monica Tranel, 52-44. In California's 45th, again with Republican sponsors, Michelle Steele is up 4 points over Derek Tran, 45-41. In New York's 19th, from the Josh Riley campaign, he's shown himself ahead of Mark Molinaro by 3 points, 48-45. In Arizona's second, we're looking at a tied race at 42 between incumbent Republican Eli Crane and Jonathan Nez. In North Carolina's first, from the Don Davis campaign, he's up 11 points over Lori Buckout, 50-39. In Wisconsin's third, from the DCCC, Rebecca Cook is up 1 point over Derek Van Orden, 49-48. In Minnesota's second, Angie Craig up a healthy 8 points, 49-41. In Connecticut's fifth, Johanna Hayes is up 3 points in a rematch with George Logan, 49-46. In Wisconsin's first, with a GOP sponsor, Brian Ryan Stiles is up 10 points over Peter Barca 52-42 in Michigan's 7th. That's an open seat. From the Tom Barrett campaign, he's up 4 points over Curtis Hertel 47-43 in Georgia's 2nd. In a district that I don't think is going to flip, Sanford Bishop is up 3 points over A. Wayne Johnson 45-42. And finally, in California's 49th, from the NRCC, Mike Levin, who won by 5 points last time, is shown with a 1-point lead over Sam Gunderson at 46-45. So that's it. Some interesting polling there. You can always parse through some of these crosstabs and find some specific metrics that you like or you don't like. But that's going to be it for this polling recap. So let me know in the comments. Any polls you really like here, any complete outliers, let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.